going on? It is Ash here coming at you today in Clash Royale. Today's going to be a great video. We're going to talk about cards that we think need balance. That's right, I said we because I am not alone. Trying out something new with this series, and I have two of my best YouTube Clash Royale buddies on the line. We have Clash with Shane and Bufarete. Shane, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm fantastic, dude. I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for having me on.
No problem, man. And Bufarete, what's up, my man?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Not much, not much. How are you still undefeated with the wall breaker deck? How you hanging in there with that?
Dude, I'm like 617 right now. Like, it's insane.
617 in what?
At zero, man. I've never lost in my life.
Undefeated with wall breakers, dude. Man.
Anyway, we'll have to get you back on with that deck. But anyway, today we're going to talk about balance changes. And I thought we'd do something really fun here for the format. So after this video goes live, I'm going to post a community tab poll for you guys, my viewers, to actually go ahead and vote on. And I'm going to be kind of the arbitrator, kind of the judge here, the moderator, if you will. And I'm going to have these two experienced Clash Royale YouTubers, Clash with Shane and Bufarete, both pitch. Yeah, pro players, basically. They're both going to pitch their ideas for if they worked at Supercell, what they would do in this coming balance changes. And you guys get to vote on our imaginary game here, okay? So who wants to start here? You guys have your list of balance changes. I'm going to chime in. It's going to be kind of a casual video, too. It's not going to be like super formal where, you know, whatever. Let's just do this.
I want to start because I'm mad. I'm sorry, Shane.
You want to go ahead? Go ahead first.
I cannot wait to trash talk the Fisherman, so I'm sorry. I have to go first.
Okay,
yeah, go ahead.
All right, go ahead.
They launched the Fisherman, right? And I get that, you know, they don't want a repeated Night Witch incident, but the problem is the Fisherman is such a terrible card for 4 elixir. It is terrible. It doesn't hit air. It doesn't pull air. It doesn't do damage when it pulls onto something. So my proposed change is, it either has to target air, like in the video, because in the video he throws that fish and the fish literally hits a minion. I'm not making that up, right? And here it doesn't do that. So it either has to hit air or when it grabs onto something, either do damage. Dude, can you imagine if someone hit you in the face with a hook? It would definitely do some damage. But here you have the Fisherman throwing a hook at you. It does no damage. And then when he pulls, like let's say he pulls to the Princess Tower, he doesn't do any damage. He's basically doing the same bandit dash. So he doesn't do any on that. So he either has to hit air. He has to do damage when he hits with the hook, or he has to do damage when he pulls towards something or when he pulls something towards him. Any of those three, I'm fine, or make the card 3 elixir, because right now I'm very underwhelmed by it, and they keep chugging challenges at my face with him.
We'll wait till Shane, you can hold off first. Feel free to chime in if you want to, but I want to save your list too. But I agree with you, and it is weird how the hook does no damage. Someone's throwing a hook at your face, a huge hook, but then the dead fish or whatever he has slapping you does damage. Either way, go on, Bufarete. What else do you have for us? You're gonna buff the Fisherman.
Yeah. Then I want to do a rework on the heal spell. The heal spell right now, it's such a bad card. It's 1 elixir. It provides no value whatsoever, right? Because in my case, every time I heal something, it immediately gets either zap, log, or just gets damage, right? So instead of healing, I want it to be a shield. It's 1 elixir, and it gives you half a second, a whole second of invincibility. So that way, I feel comfortable when I put a heal down that whatever I just heal, it's not gonna get zap, it's not gonna get log, it's not gonna get hit, and it will actually provide some significant strategic value. I mean, we see that, you know, when you're playing like Clash of Clans, you know, when you activate the Queen's ability, for example, she gains that kind of like buff thing there that for a few seconds no one can touch her. I don't want that much because I think that's a little bit too overpowered, especially for an Inferno Dragon or something like that. But I want at least half a second to a second of invincibility instead of heal. The heal does nothing. 1 elixir, it's too little. It's too little the amount of heal that you do, and it's almost never significant. That is my 2 cents with that.
Okay, that's number 2. Why don't you just go through the list, both of you guys, and then we'll discuss. We'll give some feedback at the end.
Okay, I want goblins to all have the same HP. I want the magic archer to be reworked. I want the royal recruits to not be deployed in a line anymore. It's just almost never value. I want them to be deployed kind of like barbarians, or, you know, that's to the end, sorry. I want to nerf the Valkyrie, please. I want to nerf the lumberjack.
Dude, you're going too fast now. Jeez, man. All right, rewind a little bit here. I mean, I didn't mention too many lightning speed.
You said say the list and we'll
I know,
discuss
give the
later.
list, but give like a 5-10 second synopsis after you. So rewind a little bit. After heal was Magic Archer?
Yeah, I want the Magic Archer to be reworked some way. I want him to either do more damage or have more range or have more HP, which would be my personal best. Because I get, the Flying Machine dies to Fireball because it does so much damage. Magic Archer doesn't do that much damage. Let him survive. Let him be like the Electro Whiz or like the E-Whiz, the Ice Whiz. Sorry, don't kill him with a Fireball, please.
Okay, Goblins?
The goblins, I want them all to have the same HP. I don't like that. I mean, all the goblins are the exact same thing. They look the same. Why do some die to Zap and not others? I want all of them to survive Zap. I think that's going to be a really good interaction for the Spear Gobs and the Goblin Gang. I just want them all to be the same. All of them are goblins. Jeez.
Okay. I have some thoughts on that, but keep going, Royal Recruits.
Royal Recruits, I don't want them to be deployed in a line. Every time you deploy them in a line, you're wasting 2 of them for the most part. And if I want to split them, let me split them behind the King Tower. Guards get like, when you put guards down, they're all in a bunch. When you put barbarians down, they're all in a bunch. I kind of see this like a 3-step program. You get guards, you get barbarians, then you get the Royal Recruits. I don't want them in a line. I just don't see a perfect use on that. I think like it's a much higher reward, higher what's the word? Rewards the opposite.
Risk?
Yeah, higher risk, because then they can be logged, they can be area damage or whatever. I don't like them on a line. They have 0% usage right now, but every time you get them in draft, they're such a fun card to play, which is a shame that we cannot use them anywhere else.
Okay, and what did I miss?
Lumberjack. Lumberjack with 5% HP takes half of a tower. That it's ridiculous. That it's way too ridiculous for the card. And when you put them with a clone or with a golem, they're just ridiculous, period.
Okay, so you want Lumberjack and Valkyrie nerfed. Did I hear that right?
Yeah, I want them to have I want the Valkyrie to do less damage, and I want the Lumberjack to have less HP. Because the Valkyrie right now, you can put her down, and it's like the equivalent of just rocketing 5 troops. She can take out the whole everything the enemy has for 4 elixir, and that is ridiculous. Especially the counter push potential she has when you push her with a hawk. It's way too much. And I love her, by the way, so I'm kind of like hurt by saying this. But every time you do a pro video, every time you bring a pro, you keep hearing the same card. Valkyrie is too strong. Valkyrie is too strong. Valkyrie is too strong. Because it is. It is really too strong right now.
Okay, does that conclude your list?
Yeah.
All right, Shane, the floor is yours.
All right, I'm ready. So first card is, I definitely agree with Bufarete. Fisherman is underwhelming. And not only would I either make it target air or have an impact damage when it pulls with the hook, but it also needs a significant health buff as well. Because right now it's just way too weak for the health, considering it is a 4 elixir card, and considering that the hook mechanic also makes it vulnerable whenever it pulls anything towards it. So definitely give it a hook mechanic change, but also a significant health buff as well. The second card on my list here, I might have to change after hearing about Bufarete's undefeated deck, but that is the Wall Breakers. They've been underwhelming. Not only are they weak, but they aren't exciting. They didn't introduce anything new into the game. They're basically fire spirits that only target buildings. So considering they are an epic, they need an extra mechanic. I think it's time that they have a death bomb on there. Even if they are too strong on defense, it adds that extra complexity to make it worth being an epic card. The third card on my list here is the Giant Skeleton, who I want to have a complete redesign, because the Giant Skeleton right now is an interesting card, because if it were stronger than it is now, it's so defensive and so frustrating to face against that it leads to a lot of draws and slows down gameplay a lot. So I want to see Giant Skeleton get a redesign to become a win condition and target buildings only, basically be a walking balloon with a stronger death bomb. The fourth card on my list here is another redesign, and that is for the Executioner. Right now, I think a lot of people want the Baby Dragon to be nerfed, but I think if you nerf Baby Dragon, Swarm decks will be too strong. So instead of nerfing Baby Dragon, redesign Executioner, make it 4 elixir instead of 5, adjust the stats, and have that compete with the Baby Dragon as a 4 elixir splasher. So those are my top 4 cards. Two more cards here. One of them, I agree with Bufarete. Royal Recruits need to be changed. However, keep the line mechanic. Just give them a slight DPS boost as well. Because they're a fun card to use. I love getting them in draft. But they just don't do enough for their 7 elixir cost. So just give them a slight damage buff, and that's all I would do for that one. And the last card on my list is the Magic Archer. It hasn't been in the meta since it was nerfed back last year. And I would just undo the nerf back to last. Like, put it back to where it was before it was nerfed in fall of 2018. And that's it. Those are my 6 cards.
So you guys have heard both of the lists. I want to give some quick feedback, and then I'll open the floor to you guys to debate a little bit. And I want to ask you about some controversial cards that neither of you guys mentioned. So first off, I agree with you guys on a lot of stuff. But let me ask you on both of your lists, just to clarify. Fisherman, air targeting or not air targeting?
Yes, maybe.
I gave 4 options.
Yes,
I gave 4
maybe
options.
no.
I would be fine with any of the 4 options I gave.
Okay.
I just don't want it all because I don't want it to be OP. I just want something else for a legendary 4 elixir. Bandit takes a whole tower for 3 elixir, crying out loud, and she's invincible while doing it. So
Okay, and his hook takes forever to shoot.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah,
It's just
faster
like,
hook time too. Faster hook time for sure.
Yeah, oh my god. All right, Royal Recruits, I actually disagree with both of you guys on. I'm not saying that the card's perfect. I'm not even saying the card's good. It's not, but I am kind of worried. I have like those nightmares of when Royal Recruits were so OP at 6 elixir that I'm not sure if I want to even get back in that realm again. But either way, the only other thing that I kind of disagree with you guys on is that neither of you mentioned Bowler. I'm a big fan of Bowler, and I think I want to see him knock back the Princes because I think that both Princes are not deserving of a nerf. But I do think that they're a little bit on the strong side, so I think a nice indirect nerf and an indirect buff for the, well, a direct buff, I guess, for the bowler would be for him to actually push back. Because a boulder going into a prince seems like it should be able to stop the charge, right?
Yeah, I agree with that, but at the same time, my concern with Bowler is that similar to Giant Skeleton is if it did knock back Princes, it's super defensive, and it slows down gameplay, because for the most part, Bowlers are used in like slow defensive control decks, and you gotta have a couple of cards that are resistant to the Bowler knockback in order for like beatdown ducks or for whatever to have a chance of breaking through that defense.
That's a good point.
And for the record, I didn't have Bowler because every episode I watch of yours, you talk so much about the Bowler. I thought this could be the first Bowler-less episode ever.
No, we're not going to go bowlerless this video. Nope. Done. I got him in there. All right, so what about, let me ask you, okay, so Jude, listen, I saw this poll by Molt, shout out to Molt. He posted this poll on Twitter the other day. Basically, what card do you think is most deserving of a nerf? Kind of implying that maybe all these cards are deserving of a nerf. And he listed Giant, Hog Rider, Lava Hound, and Golem. And I responded, I was like, hashtag unpopular opinion, none of them. And you guys didn't have them either. So what do you guys think about, like, instead of mentioning all of those cards, the one that I see the most in my comments, I don't know about you guys lately, and I'd be curious to see, to know which one you hear about more from your subscribers. But mine is Golem. A lot of people are kind of upset with the power of Golem, the guaranteed damage. The reason I don't think he needs to nerf is because I think that Golem is the only card, I mean, it's the only card really that it's 8 elixir that you drop and you can just be punished really, really severely for, and there's really no way to defend with 2 elixir, even though I guess maybe there is if you have NATO and stuff. But either way, how do you guys feel about Bowler, and is that the card that you hear most about too, or no?
I kind of hear more so like nerf Hog Rider, which is funny to me. But Golem is definitely up there, and I think most of the complaints for Golem come from the fact that this is going to be controversial that I'm going to say right now, but it's fairly easy to use Golem decks. You place Golem behind your King Tower.
So controversial, Shane.
Go grab a snack, go get a coffee, come back, drop your support units, and then just win the game. So I think that's where people are concerned about with it being strong is how easy it is to use. Whereas Hog Rider, like, it's definitely a lot harder to use the Hog Rider successfully, right? So that's where I think most complaints come for the Golem.
And I also think the thing with the Golem is that you are either going to counter the Golem 100% or the Golem is going to counter you 100%. It's like there's a lot of matchups that I can win it or I can lose it. But with Golem, like if I'm running Expo, for example, it's such a hard matchup. And if I don't take a tower in the first 60 seconds, in the first 2 minutes of that battle, I know I'm going to lose once double elixir hits. which is one of the frustrating things. Lava Hound's not at all. You have Tornado, you counter Lava Hound 100%. You have Inferno Dragon. Like there's so many cards that you can counter it so much versus the Golem. So depends one deck, which deck I'm running. I nerf Golem or don't nerf Golem. If I'm running Bridge Spam, I'm fine with Golem.
Okay, what about, let me just rattle rapid fire at you. Another cards that I hear a lot, every single one of these videos that I make, is 2 legendaries, Night Witch and Royal Ghost. What do you guys feel about those 2 cards?
I
don't
think
think
Ghost
the
could
Royal
use
Ghost
a
is strong. Sorry.
Yeah, I could use a slight buff with the Ghost. Night Witch is okay. I'm fine with her.
Yeah, I mean, because if you have Knight, you have Mini Pick. I mean, you can even counter a Ghost with Skeletons. Have you seen the video someone puts? If you put them in the center, like he appears and then you kite him to the other way. Like there's a lot of ways of countering him. Night Witch is a little bit more annoying, but for the most part, I don't know if she should die to poison. I think that would be a little bit too strong, but definitely I think the Night Witch is fine where it is right now.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are saying that she's a buff, not a nerf, but let me ask you about even a different topic altogether, is the cards that dominate ladder but suck in competitive in GCs. I don't even know what to say about these cards, honestly. Like, I haven't even figured it out necessarily, but I hear every video, Wizard and Witch, man. Wizard and Witch being OP, but yet they suck. You don't see those cards in CRL. You don't see them winning too many grand challenges. Do you guys have any brilliant ideas on how to fix the mid-ladder woes of Wizard and Witch?
It's hard to say, because I think at some point you just have to accept that some cards are ladder cards and some cards are going to be professional competitive cards, because having a perfect balance for like 90 plus cards in the game where every card is equal use rate and equal win rate, it's going to be impossible. So I just think like Wizard and Witch might just be some of those cards similar to Bomber, where they work in certain trophy ranges, and that's about it.
Yeah, I recorded a video the other day, and I was like, man, I'm gonna have to edit half of these battles because all I faced was witch, and it was in decks that didn't even make sense, versus in the pro scene, you have actual well-thought decks, versus in ladder, it's just, man, whatever, I have max, and Giant and Witch being one of the cards that you unlocked the earlier, chances are, you got it when you started playing the game, you just level her, you requested her on Sunday, and now it's your first level 12, and you're just gonna use it, but you're not going to get to the top of the ladder, most of the people using that. And if you do, you're either skillful with whichever deck you play, or, it's just luck. They're fine, but they're not broken cards.
Okay. Last thing I'm going to give you guys the opportunity to do, because there's going to be a big vote coming up soon, right, on my community tab. So I want you to give you guys a chance, putting you on the spot here, to crap talk the other YouTubers list. Like, pick out one thing that you don't like, or why they should vote for you and not the other YouTubers. So whoever wants to go first.
Go ahead, Bufarete.
You go
I want to hear talk.
Well, the thing is, Shane and I brought really cool lists, because when I was doing my list, I we both selected cards that were not probably what people were expecting to hear. So I think we really went to cards that we like instead of cards that are very popular stuff, and not necessarily on usage, because I didn't talk. Not all the cards I mentioned they have 0% use or 100% use.
I do have one card that I want to talk about Bufarete's list.
What?
Okay.
And that is the heal spell. I think it's a bad idea all around.
Ooh, that's what I'm looking for. That's what I wanted.
Here's the thing. The reason heal spell was nerfed initially was because it broke the meta. It created this super rock, paper, scissors meta where if you had heal spell and your opponent had poison or whatever, you basically won. It would do a similar thing if the heal spell made them immune for 1 second, because if you could imagine having 3 Musketeers, and your opponent goes to rocket them, and you drop the heal spell right when the rocket's about to land, and boom, Musketeers survive. Now your opponent loses the game, basically. So I think that idea might break the meta overall with the immune or the shield function of the heal spell.
Yeah, but that's just me talking here. You can say something like, it will leave the cards with 1 HP, period. Yeah. And instead of actually make them immune, just give them like I'm gonna say, in Final Fantasy, there are some items that that it won't kill you, but it will leave you with 1 HP. Something like that would be
a cool idea. I like that.
Would work, and it would still give you more use of. It would be more useful than what it is right now.
Yeah. I like that idea. Or the other idea that I have for heal spell is just delete it.
Delete it. Yeah. So that's gonna be.
What's the deal with deleted? No, we need the heal spell here.
They said they never added. They added it.
Yeah, but you know.
But
Well,
you know
here's
what?
the thing.
I
Delete
do
it.
call BS on your heel rework only because, not that I disagree with you, but only because you're basically inventing a new card. You know, you're like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna rework heel and I'm gonna make it a whole different spell.
Shane, what other cards you said other than the Fisherman?
Fisherman buff, Wallbreaker buff, Giant Skeleton redesign.
No,
Executioner
Wallbreaker buff. That's the one, dude. Are you crazy? Have you seen the new Wallbreaker? The Wallbreaker.
I'm sorry, I haven't gone 300 wins and 0 losses with this, so you have to share your secret.
When Ash did that video doing that impossible challenge with the Wallbreakers, I decided to play that game, that same deck, and I was like, holy crap, Wallbreakers are insane right now. Like, the ability for them to kill a minion horde or minions while doing a crap ton of damage on a tower, they are insanely strong if you don't have a counter for them. And
if you don't have a counter.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
every card in the game counters them.
No, that's not the case anymore.
I'm a Wallbreaker hater. I'm a Wallbreaker hater as well.
Yeah,
I don't think they're that great. I mean,
I think they are.
You can use them and have success with them. I don't argue there, but and I know a lot of my viewers too, because in the comments, a lot of viewers are like, "Dude, you're sleeping on Wallbreakers. Don't hate on Wallbreakers. They're actually good." But you know what? At the end of the day, I feel like the stats kind of speak for themselves, and they're in the very lowest tier of use and win rates in everything.
Like, you can win with any card in the game.
No, that's a weak argument. Wait, that's a weak argument because the Royal Giant was one of the worst decks in CRL. Yet every pro, when they were like, if I don't win this game, my team's gonna get disqualified, they push that Royal Giant button harder than anything. Yeah. And it was the deck with the worst win rate. Royal Giant is still not on the top.
Way worse. But I see your point, but dude, I know Wallbreakers and I know Royal Giant, and Wallbreakers are no Royal Giant. Anyway, I love this video, by the way, guys. I want my subscribers to let me know, by the way. Let me know, please, in the comments. Do you like this better than just me, iterating my own balanced wish list? Because I want to continue this as kind of a reoccurring series. But guys, real quickly before we go, I know Shane just kind of started to there. First off, thank you so much, all my subscribers. If you're not subscribed to Bufarete and to Clash with Shane, the links will be in the description below. You're doing yourself a disservice, and they're both really entertaining too. If you're not subscribed to those guys, so check them out. And last thing is, what was the last thing? Crap. Oh, just so my viewers have it fresh in their minds, just really quickly, just list off your list again. That way they know.
All right, I'll go first. Number 1, Fisherman buff. Number 2, Wallbreaker buff. Number 3, Giant Skeleton redesign. Number 4, Executioner redesign to 4 Elixir. Number 5 is Royal Recruit buff. And number 6 was Magic Archer buff.
Dude, I completely forgot about your Giant Skeleton buff. What that's the worst idea of this video, and we didn't even talk about that, Shane. That's such a bad idea, Shane. That thing, its own episode, Shane. So I'm not gonna talk about that.
That'll be the best card.
That is what I'm gonna fly to Canada.
I can't wait to see
because that is a terrible
poll.
idea.
Let the viewers decide. Boof, what's your list?
Okay, my list is the Fisherman. It has to have anything more as a buff. The Valkyrie, it's way too strong right now. Lumberjack, insanely strong. We need less HP on the Lumberjack. All Goblins, I want them all to have the same HP because I want all Skeletons are the same across Graveyard, Tombstone, whatever. Goblins have to be the same. Magic Archer needs a buff on HP, and the Royal Recruits, I don't want them on a line. I want them on a bunch, and if I want to split them, I put them behind the King Tower. If I don't, I put them on a specific lane.
All right, guys, you heard it right there. Both of my YouTuber guests with their balance changes. If you were Supercell, who would you hire? Let me know in the community tab poll. And guys, thanks again so much for coming on the channel. I really appreciate it to both of you. You guys were awesome to have on.
Yeah, thanks for having me on here.
No problem. That's going to do it for the video, guys. Huge shout out to Royale and Bren Chong, my YouTube partners. Check out their information in the description below, along with these lovely YouTuber guests. Thank you for watching, and as always, take care, guys.